Because of the lockdown, I'm getting fat, and I really need a haircut, but at least I'm not handling it as poorly as Brian Stelter. Not being able to go to the all-you-can-eat buffet for the last month has really gotten him down, so he made an entry in his diary that everyone is talking about.
Last night I hit a wall, gutted by the hole, disturbed by the government's shortcomings, and dismayed by political rhetoric that bears no resemblance to reality. Worried about friends who are losing jobs, kids who are missing school, and senior citizens who are living in fear. I crawled into bed and cried for our pre-pandemic lives, tears that had been waiting a month to escape. I wanted to share because it feels freeing to do so. Now is not a time for faux invincibility. Journalists are living this and hating this like everybody else.
His admission of crawling into bed and crying himself to sleep has made headlines across the country, but I'm not sure why, because that's a typical Friday night for Brian. We've all joked about this for years, the joke of course being that it's not a joke, and we all thought it was common knowledge. Then on his weekend show, unironically called Reliable Sources, he elaborated on his feelings.
Can I just put that over there? It's okay to not be okay right now. That's the main thing I want to say to everyone watching. It wasn't until this Friday night that I hit a wall. I was supposed to be finishing my nightly newsletter that I mentioned earlier, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't get it done, and that's when the tears came. I mean, yeah, there were some messages from guys trying to do that performative masculinity thing, saying mention, cry, or talk about crying.
Oh, barf. This is a guy who got a special exemption to the government quarantines he so fervently supports for other people. All of us in the media got that exemption, by the way. This is a guy who's working in a high-paying job when tens of millions of Americans are not working at all. Please be quiet. Your tears are not, quote, a big part of the story, and neither are you. For God's sakes, please stop talking about yourself. It is unsufferable.
Well, that's a polite way of putting it. I better not say what I actually think, or, well, you know what'll happen. And speaking of censorship, later in his show, he interviewed YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki to see how it was going.
We've actually seen a 75% increase in the news coming from authoritative sources since the beginning of 2020. So we've seen a lot of demand there. But then,
what does that mean? That means an increase in video views for those?
yeah, and so we talk about that as raising authoritative information. But then we also talk about removing information that is problematic.
There's not enough mainstream media on YouTube, so they boosted it by 75% in the last few months alone. By the way, if you're wondering how this Valley girl was able to become CEO of such a major company, her sister married Sergey Brin, the co-founder of Google and the parent company of YouTube, back in 2007. In Monday's video, I joked that Facebook may ban you if you support lifting the lockdown and getting the economy going. Unfortunately, that's no laughing matter because that's exactly what they're doing. But Vox and others are upset that not all posts will be removed, because apparently if you live in a state where some of the social distancing guidelines have been relaxed, then your post may stay up. Vox complains Facebook is taking down some, but not all, quarantine protest pages. And it may not be much longer before they ban Brazil's president for joining the protests. As you know, there's a big debate going on right now about when to start opening restaurants, salons, gyms, and get the economy going again.
Rallies like this one in Orange County are being staged across the country. Some people are fed up with the stay-at-home orders and dismissing social distancing guidelines.
Democrats are obviously hoping to keep the economy stalling as long as possible and don't want the pandemic to end until after the election. That way they can continue to try to blame all of the country's problems on President Trump. Of course, the fastest way President Trump could begin opening up America again would be to announce that he wants to keep everything closed for the next year. Democrats would then hit the streets demanding an end to the social distancing and the lockdown the very next day. And by the way, I'm having a social distancing special where you can get free shipping on anything from workdice.com if you use the promo code WINNING at the checkout. So if you want to get yourself a Trump is Growing Stronger shirt, a Trump Thug Life shirt, a Trump is Building the Wall shirt, or any of my awesome designs, head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below, enter the promo code WINNING at the checkout, and check them out!